زعفرانی.
Balance of that altered cancer condition. Then invention of growing of cancer is varied. Different treatments are considered for cancer. For example, surgery, radiation therapy, chemotherapy, immunotherapy, hormone therapy, targeted therapy, and stem cell therapy. And some of them are classical methods, and some of them are novel methods that are being used these days. Definitely, many of these classic methods have some limitations, and that's why these days they're focusing on novel methods. And that's why these days researchers in this area is growing. Especially these days we see personalized medicine as is considered because you know the mechanism of cancer is known, but our body is totally different from each other. That's why not only in cancer condition but also in other diseases, the specific treatment is considered for each patient these days, and this is the new days novel therapy. As I said, in classic treatments or classic therapeutic approaches, there are some limitations that you see here. example for T cells, we see as you see here is the cancer cell, and you know, T cells can produce some protein factors like TNF alpha or some other factors that can cause the death in cancer cells and infected cells. And also these cells can also be that is prepared to be injected in the body. And then we see, after a while, after some days, the number of newly made cells is showing the efficacy of transplantation to make new blood cells. The count of neutrophils and lymphocytes is showing that if the transplant lies